Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're diving into a truly foundational multiversal text. We're talking about a high-stakes, strategic narrative that literally spans across entire dimensions. It's this massive story of alliance, swift leadership, and combat mechanics that honestly rivals some of the most complex puzzle systems we've ever analyzed. We're breaking down the epic, foundational saga of the Marvel team. Imagine the immense stakes for just a second. You've just traversed the cosmos, dropped into a completely unknown reality, and bam, you were suddenly ambushed. But these aren't just your run-of-the-mill bad guys you can punch your way through. So here's the ultimate question. How do you defeat a monster when its actual life force is hidden inside a giant external core? This is the exact tactical puzzle our heroes are going to have to solve, and the fate of an entire universe is riding on it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Act 1. Assembling the Marvel team.
In our primary source document, we get to see the exact genesis of this whole initiative. The text states incredibly clearly, the Tiger Man started to make a team. The team name was Marel. Notice the immediate agency there. Tiger Man identifies a threat or a need and just takes action. He doesn't look for help in his own backyard. Actually, scratch that. He bypasses his own universe entirely to remember his allies across the multiverse. He specifically targets the King Panther universe and physically travels to where King Panther lives. This establishes right out of the gate that we're dealing with a hero fully capable of interdimensional travel. It sets this massive cosmic scope for everything that follows. So, Tiger Man arrives and propositions King Panther to join this brand new Marvel team. And King Panther's response? It's just profoundly simple. Yes, I will join, my friend. You can really feel the unshakable loyalty and this deep pre-existing bond between these established heroes. I mean, there are no drawn-out contract negotiations, absolutely no hesitation, no demanding to know the threat level. It's just an immediate, resolute commitment to the cause based purely on mutual respect and friendship. But look, a duo isn't a full team, right? And the plot just rapidly accelerates from here. As the source text reveals, they both, quote, fastly went to Dragon Universe. They are on this frantic, multiversal search for their final recruit, Dragon Man. And they have to find him fast, because as the text specifically notes, he newly became a superhero. They're deliberately tracking down a rookie, someone with fresh, completely untapped potential. And through sheer determination, they manage to track him down after just a few minutes of searching his universe.
This brilliantly illustrates the sheer scale of the world building we're looking at. Notice the stark contrast here. On one side, you've got the King Panther universe, representing established power, deep history, and veteran alliances. And on the flip side, you have the Dragon universe, this completely different, maybe far more volatile realm that just birthed a brand new champion. By bringing a seasoned veteran and a raw rookie together, Tiger Man is meticulously balancing experience with new, unpredictable power to build a perfectly rounded squad.
Now consider this critical moment. Dragon Man agrees to join, saying, yes, I will join you both guys. But then, he asks a highly astute, strategic question. But who is Captain? It's such a brilliant, realistic detail. You have three insanely powerful beings from entirely different universes standing together. Without a clear chain of command, that is a recipe for absolute disaster in the field.
The way they resolve this potential power struggle is just a masterclass in efficiency. Tiger Man simply states, I'm captain, and how do these multiversal powerhouses respond? Quote, and everyone said okay. It's hilarious, but it's also a remarkably pragmatic definition of leadership. The captain is simply the one who claims the mantle, provided there is unanimous, instant consensus. It shows this complete lack of ego among the heroes, which lets them bypass all the bureaucratic delays and just get straight to the mission at hand.
And they are definitely going to need that efficiency immediately in Act 2, the inciting incident, the monster core threat.
The ambush is totally instantaneous. Suddenly, they're confronted by two monsters and two big cores. The team's response is immediate. Everyone suits up for battle. But here's where that rookie, Dragon Man, proves exactly why he was recruited. He doesn't suit up. Why? Because, as the text explicitly states, he can transform any hits. He is essentially a biological sponge for kinetic energy and damage. It's an incredibly overpowered, totally unique tactical advantage that completely flips the battlefield dynamics. He doesn't need armor. His power literally is the armor.
Now, what's really interesting about this combat log is how it captures the exact moment the team deciphers the enemy's mechanics in the heat of battle. The text reads, a core was destroyed and they understood that if they kill one more core, then another monster will be destroyed. This is the massive turning point.
It proves this isn't just some mindless brawl. It's a deeply strategic encounter where observation, deductive reasoning, and mid-battle adaptation are just as important as brute strength.
Let's break down this video game-style mechanics so we fully grasp the devious genius of this threat. You've got two distinct, linked elements on the battlefield. First, the monsters. They act as the frontline attackers, the immediate physical threats getting right in heroes' faces. They're effectively serving as deadly decoys. But second, you have the cores. The cores are the true life force. By separating their offensive capabilities from their vital lifelines, the villains created this highly complex, multi-stage boss fight that requires immense coordination to beat.
Which brings us to the climax, where raw superhero power finally meets high-level strategic puzzle solving. Act 3, the final battle strategy.
They formulate this flawless three-step master plan right on the fly. Step 1 is crowd control. Tiger Man and King Panther are seasoned veterans, engage and, quote, beat the monsters, handling the monsters directly and keeping the frontline threat occupied and away from their heavy hitter. Step 2 is range damage. Dragon Man, who doesn't need to worry about taking damage because he transforms hits, uses his specific power from a distance to shoot fireballs. And Step 3, with the monsters distracted by the veterans and taking heavy artillery fire from the rookie, the cores are targeted and successfully destroyed. It is just a perfect synergistic use of each individual hero's specific skill set.
So, the crucial point here is summarized perfectly by the final line of our source text. The cores are main monsters. That is the core thesis of the entire encounter. By recognizing that the obvious physical threat wasn't the actual structural threat, the Mastral team was able to adapt, strategize, and ultimately save the newly discovered Mastral universe from total annihilation.
Think about it, they formed a team from across realities, established an incredibly efficient command structure in seconds, and defeated a mechanically complex threat on their very first outing. It's an insanely successful origin story that leaves us with one massive, lingering question. What universe will the Marvel team save next? The multiverse is vast, and this team is clearly just getting started. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep analyzing, keep exploring, and we'll see you next time as we break down more fascinating source material together.